Hello, this is Don O'Malley from Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Today we have not one but two Tailspin Tommy movies, and we have to jump right into them because they are long. So, hope you enjoy the movies. Thanks, folks.
Men of the air, we never care whenever we leave the field. Men of the air, we never spare the fear, we never yield. Ready for flight in the dead of the night over land or sea or snow. Eager to fight and for dead in the light, we give her the gun and go. On silver wings we take the air. Though we never like to boast, on we dash from coast to coast. On silver wings without a care. We are way across the sky, ready to dare and do or die. Hail to the flying men on silver wings. Sing it out with a voice that rings. If there's trouble anywhere, we'll be there on silver
Look! Boy, that's what I call real flying, huh?
Aw, that ain't so hot. My job can fly rings around your old crate.
That's what you think. Wanna bet?
Sure, I'll bet you. Just as soon as Tailspin gets here to referee it, he's the only one around here that knows real flying.
Things fly kind of good, huh, Whitey? Why don't you chisel in with them kids and have some fun?
Who, me? Say, wouldn't I look just too sweet playing with them baby toys?
Think you're all grown up and tough, huh?
What do you think?
I think you're all right, kid. You know that. Nobody's gonna push you around any more than they're gonna push me.
Nothing to be alarmed over, Mr. Brown.
Gee, that's what you call flying, huh?
Gosh, I wonder what Tailspin will say.
Hey, you kids, watch out what you're doing out there. They haven't started bombing Americans yet. But if they wait until Tomkins' Scouts of the Air go up, they're apt to get a mighty warm reception.
Air Scouts? Oh, you mean those kids with the model planes, eh?
Yeah, it's a flying club Tomkins got up, and they are using our field.
And it's a good idea, too, Mr. Brown. Tommy says it's as natural for kids today to want to fly as to swim or play football. He's teaching them the rudimentary ideas of flying. And he says it may save time, and maybe lives, too, someday.
Excuse me, Betty Lou, but I think you're overselling Mr. Brown. And he may not think it necessary to pay his taxes for the support of the Army and the Navy. Well, Tomkins will be in with your payroll money in a few minutes. Never have to worry when he's on the job.
Is that why he's flying transports today?
No, not exactly. The regular pilot wasn't feeling well. But a trip now and then helps Tomkins keep his hand in.
I suppose so, and with that much money on board and cold, hard cash, it's wise to have a good man at the control.
Here comes Tailspin.
Yeah, we better scram. You know what Tommy said about keeping the field clear for planes to land.
Where do I get my ship?
That's my plane! Get away! What's been over on that big transport? Don't you do it, you'll burst it! Take it away from him, Johnny! Punch him in the nose! It's getting something wrong with Tom!
Okay, Shrimp, go chase it.
What did I tell you kids about keeping the field clear?
Johnny didn't do it, Tommy. On the level.
We were obeying your orders. That Whitey Lewis picked up Johnny's plane
And threw it right out in front of you. Johnny couldn't help it, honestly, Tommy.
That's right, Tommy. It was that Lewis kid. I saw him. Where's he?
right over there.
Beat it, kid. I got a special reason for not wanting no trouble around here right now.
He ought to have a good punch in the nose.
Here's a buck. I'll be back tomorrow or the next day. Now get going.
Okay, Mike. But I just don't want that stuffed eagle to think he can make me go.
Go on, get out of here.
Here you are, Mr. Brown. Sign right here, and the money's all yours.
Thank you, Tomkins.
Don't thank me. This is one time it's a pleasure to get rid of money.
Yes, and I'll feel the same when I deliver it to my construction crew up at the dam. I don't like to think about that 5-hour drive. It's a mighty rough country between here and there.
That's right.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, Paul.
You know, Ash, if you had a landing field up at your camp, I'd talk to you about a deal for Tomkins to fly the payroll all the way. Then you wouldn't have any worry.
Maybe not, but Tomkins would. A forced landing up in that country would mean a nasty crack-up.
Well, you let us worry about that. We could transfer the money to a small plane here and have it up there in a little more than an hour.
Well, maybe a few tractors could clear a landing field. Worth thinking about.
All right, think it over. Good luck again.
Good luck, Paul. So long again, Tomkins.
So long.
Keep it low, Stephen. Be ready to move fast.
I'm stuck. I guess my battery's dead. Will you see if you can get me started?
Up with them. Get out of the car.
Step on it!
They plugged our tire. So you had this job all figured out so it couldn't mess, eh?
Yeah. How was I?
Never mind, get that tire changed. We've got to get out of here.
Yeah. This country will be plenty hot as soon as that guy gets to a phone.
You're right, Mike.
You know, Paul, that one attempt to hold me up sold me on flying. I've had every spare tractor up at the camp for the last 2 weeks grading that landing field, and it's ready.
Then Tomkins can make the first trip tomorrow.
And be welcome to the job, Paul, believe me.
Say, you didn't get a good description of those thugs, did you?
No, everything worked too fast. For all I know, one of them might have looked like little Annie Rooney.
Well, they'll have to chase Tomkins pretty high to hijack him.
How much you get for this, Cap?
This is $2, Sonny. It's one of the best kits I've got in the shop.
I ain't got that much. I only have $1.
But I have lots of kits for $1. Now, like this pursuit ship here.
No, I don't want them.
Hi, Cap. Hello, Tommy.
Did you get that package of parts from my Air Scouts?
I sure have. I'll get it right away. It just came in and I haven't had time to unpack it. Only take me a minute.
Okay, no hurry. Hi, kid. I said hi. Don't you speak to people when they say hello to you?
No, not the fatheads I don't like.
Whoa.
You're a lot bigger than me, you big stiff. But if you try to beat me up,
What made you think I was going to beat you up?
none of your business.
Pretty tough, huh? Whoa, I'm just trying to feel your muscle.
Well, I didn't know. Feel it.
That's pretty good. You know, Whitey, I thought I was pretty tough, too, when I was about your age. I had to hustle for myself, and I thought the tougher I was, the more I'd get. I got to hating all the things the other kids had, just because I couldn't have them. Well, I got into a lot of trouble before I started getting smart. And then I started flying, and,
How'd you get the job flying?
oh, I did a lot of things. Worked around the field, studied, but it was more, you see, Whitey, you gotta work hard.
I had a job, but old man Jenkins fired me.
You mean Jenkins down at the grocery store?
Yeah, he found out about my pop. He's in stir.
In stir?
Uh-huh. You know, the big house. Pop was a fighter, see? In the ring.
A champ?
No, he was never a champ. I guess he wouldn't keep in condition. But he had a left hook that was a honey. Like this.
Pretty good, pretty good. Say, you going to be a fighter?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I can't be a flyer.
Oh, you want to be a flyer?
Maybe. I guess it'll be okay.
Why don't you come out to the field with the kids?
No, I ain't got no ship. Hey, you're liable to bust it.
Oh, I didn't see that. See, that's all right. That ought to make a pretty swell ship.
Yeah, I was looking at it. But it's $2 and I only got one.
It is tough.
Well, there it is, Tommy. I checked it, and there's everything you ordered.
Thanks, Cap. So long, kid.
So long.
Oh, Cap. What did you decide about giving my Air Scouts a half discount? Remember? I asked you.
Well, I reckon I can on some of the things.
You mean on ones like this? This'll be only $1?
Yes, I guess so. I've had it in stock quite some time, and the box is kind of torn.
Here you are. Guess it was kind of lucky you came in.
Yes, I guess it was.
I'll be out on the field as soon as I can get it together. Thanks a lot, Tommy. So long.
So long, kid.
Nice work, Tommy.
So long, Cap.
So long.
Hey, you kids, you ought to be home.
We gotta finish our shift.
We're just about through. Why don't you let us test it tonight?
Not a chance. This is a swell night for good flyers to keep their ships on the ground. Now run along.
Okay, Tommy. So long.
Good night.
Well, I've seen some storms in my time, but this one has the earmarks of being the granddaddy of them all.
Yes, it's going to be a swell night. The flyers to sit by the fire.
You said it.
What's the news on Flight 14?
Well, they haven't reported in at Twin Rivers yet. So they're going to be grounded, though. Storm keeps.
Well, that's a tough break. Now, you mean because you're not flying Flight 14 tonight? No, but this is our first trip with the payroll for Brown, and we're going to be many hours late. Hey, what are you raving about? You haven't got any silly ideas about getting out of here tonight, have you?
Well, I wasn't thinking about rowing a boat in the park.
You didn't have an accident or anything on the way over here, did you?
Well, no, why?
You talk like a man who'd been dropped on his head.
Will you stop it? The argument's a draw. Anyway, you're both crazy.
I resent that. I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. Listen, Wonder Boy, if you have the luck to get off the ground and get up to the camp against this headwind, how are you going to land? It'll be black as...
Night?
It'll be dark, and there's no lights at that field.
Well, I'll drop a couple flares.
Drop a couple of flares. Listen, they'll point to a hole in the ground tomorrow morning and say, there's where he hit, fellas. Start digging.
Will you two quit it? Anyway, Flight 14's going to be grounded tonight. And you two aviators can go fly a kite. Or, come up to my house for a sandwich.
Okay, honey, that's a date. But just the same, if Flight 14 should get through, I'm not going to have that payroll money kicking around here all night. Be a swell chance for somebody to grab it.
You don't think he's serious? I mean, he won't try.
Don't worry, baby. He won't get off the ground tonight unless he licks me first.
Yes, I know, Skeeter. We all clown around a lot together, but I know that in a pinch you'd give your life for Tommy.
Oh, yeah, sure. All 9 of them.
Tomkins, it's been a bad slide up at the dam. A bunch of the men are all smashed up. The hospital shack is under tons of rock. I've got to get these medical supplies up to the doctors.
Guess you came to the right place.
We packed them so they wouldn't break.
Well, that was thoughtful.
I hate to ask you to do this, but there's no other way. This storm has washed the roads completely out. My car was the last one to get through.
Tommy, I don't recommend this, but I'll leave it to your judgment. If you think you can't make it, don't take a chance.
Okay. Ryan, roll the ship out. Put that in the plane, will you?
And I'm going with you.
Not a chance. I want to fly light.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm going with you.
Say, what does everybody think? This is an excursion?
Oh, Tommy, you will be careful, won't you?
We've got a date tonight, haven't we?
Of course.
I'll be careful.
QX478. 3 point to QX478. Come in, Tommy. Come in, Tommy.
Well, can't you get him to answer?
Oh, I do. I'm going to tell him a thing or two. What does he mean running off without me? Who does he think he is, anyway?
QX478 to 3 point. QX478 to 3 point.
3 point to QX478. Well, it's about time you started to think of the old folks at home. How's it going? How's the weather?
Hey, swell. Having fine time. Wish you were here.
The nerve of that mug. Well, what's your position? Where are you?
Position near dam. As near as I can make out.
Drop a couple of flares.
Did drop flares, but they washed out.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Wait until the moon comes out. Bundle of supplies with chute.
But Tommy only had one chute, and he's wearing it.
Yes, we know, Whitey.
What if he gets in trouble? If his motor cogs?
Point to QX478. 3 point to QX478. Come in, Tommy, come in.
I'm off the beam, but I must be near the field. What's your ceiling?
There isn't any, Tommy. It's right on the ground.
The center of the storm has hit us. I was in hopes we'd miss the worst of it.
Look at that field. Well, I can hardly see the lights from here. Oh, the visibility is zero.
Yes, it's pretty low.
Low? It's right on the ground. Oh, how can any plane land?
Can't see a thing, but I'm coming down. Let me know when you hear my motor.
You crash sure if he tries that.
Oh, we've got to do something, Skeeter. What do we do?
I know. I'll talk him down. I'll get him down. Open that door. Tommy, I can hear you. You're east of the field. Paul, turn up that speaker.
Okay, Skeeter, keep on talking.
Yeah, Tommy, now you're lower. You're lower now. You're almost directly over the field. Tommy, the lights man. That boat hit close.
All the lights on the field are out.
Skeeter! Skeeter, I can't hear you! Skeeter!
flashing the transformer. All the juice is off.
Well, try it on the batteries.
The power tubes are gone.
He's overshot the field. He's headed towards the trees. Tommy!
Tommy!
I'll telephone Twin Rivers and use their transmitter.
QX 478 to Twin Rivers. QX 478 to Twin Rivers. Come in, Twin Rivers.
Twin Rivers to QX 478. Twin Rivers to QX 478. Go ahead, Tomkins.
Lost contact with 3 Point. Can you hear them?
No, Tomkins. Lost contact with 3 Point at the same time as you did. Their transmitter went haywire.
Okay, Twin Rivers. What's your ceiling?
0. All planes grounded.
Okay, thanks. Couldn't make it anyway. Gas about gone.
What's your position, Tomkins?
Position uncertain. Somewhere east or north of 3 Point, I think. Not sure. Gas gone. I'm going over the side. My mistake. I seem to have mislaid my chute. We'll try and pancake in. We'll signal every hour on the hour if I'm able to signal anything. Come in, Twin Rivers.
Okay, Tomkins. Planes will take off to locate you the minute the ceiling lifts.
Okay, Twin Rivers. When you contact 3 Point, tell them I may be a little late for a certain date tonight. They'll understand.
Okay, Tomkins. Good luck and happy landings.
Eastbound calling 3 Point. Flight 12 eastbound calling 3 Point.
3 Point to Flight 12. 3 Point to Flight 12. Go ahead, Flight 12.
Blue will on zigzag course from 3 Point to Twin Rivers. No trace of Tomkins' plane.
Okay, Flight 12. Thank you just the same.
But I tell you, they ain't looking in the right place.
Twin Rivers to 3 Point. Twin Rivers to 3 Point.
Come in, Twin Rivers.
3 of searching planes just landed. Covered territory north and east of 3 Point. Report no trace of Tomkins. Planes will resume search as soon as serviced.
Thank you, Twin Rivers.
But listen to me, please.
Flight Commander of Attack Squadron 7 to 3 Point. Flight Commander of Attack Squadron 7 to 3 Point.
The Army ships.
Come in, Squadron 7.
No report on Tomkins. Wreckage of his plane must be so badly scattered it is hard to identify from air.
Thank you, Commander. Will you please continue search?
My orders are to continue search until necessary to return to base field for refueling. Late this afternoon, all hope of finding the lost payroll and mercy flyer Tommy Tompkins alive had been virtually abandoned.
Now, ain't that just too bad? Try to cross us up having that eagle fly the payroll, and look what happens.
Maybe it'd pay us to conduct a search for the plane or what it was carrying. Let's hear the rest of this.
A few ships, however, still continue the vain hunt for a glimpse of the shattered wreckage of the Mercy pilot's plane or the charred remnants of it if it burned in the crash. But it was learned today that pilot Tommy Tompkins did not have the payroll of the Brown Construction Company on board his plane when he crashed last night.
Well, what do you think of that?
Well, if they wasn't carrying the dough, what are they worried about?
Any news?
Well, they've all reported, even the Army squadron.
Listen, Skeeter, the last time I heard Tommy's plane, it was going west, it was. I tell you, they ain't looking in the right direction.
Oh, he's been saying that all morning.
Well, you're all wrong, kid. Tommy's last report to Twin Rivers said he was east and north of 3 Point.
He could have been wrong, couldn't he? Anybody could have gotten mixed up in that storm. Didn't a fella fly east to Europe when he thought he was going west?
Yeah, I know, but his name wasn't Tomkins. I'm going up again as soon as I take on some gas.
No, I'm going with you, Skeeter.
Okay.
You go ahead. I'll take over the radio.
Please fly west, Skeeter. It won't hurt the looking.
Now, take it easy, kid. We've got no time to waste. It's been 12 hours since Tommy crashed, and... well, we got to find him, quick.
Look at that kid that says I'm a liar.
What are you gonna do if nobody will believe you?
Listen, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out on a hunt for Tommy. Us kids, see? Gee, that's a swell idea. We'll spread out and cover every foot of them hills.
I know them hills. Dad used to take me fishing out there.
Bring your planes along. We'll send them up with signals when we find Tommy. Come on, let's go.
Finds us loping, he'll be plenty mad. You can sure push the fellow around and make him like it.
We'll take a look.
It's Whitey! It's Tommy's plane!
Hang on, I'm gonna set her down. Better stay here. It looks bad.
No, I'm going with him. Is he badly hurt?
I don't know. I just found it. Tommy's in there, but...
Come on. We gotta move this tree.
me neither.
No, it's all right, kid.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's the first time I've ever had my picture in the paper. And I bet it's in all the papers. All over the country, huh?
Yes, it probably is.
Well, you earned it, Whitey. If it hadn't been for you.
If those other fellas hadn't been so dumb and listened to me, we could have found him sooner. I knew he was mixed up in that storm.
Well, it was easy to do in a storm like that.
Oh, sure. I wouldn't feel bad about it. It could happen to anybody.
How are you, Tommy?
Swell. After 2 weeks of this, I'll sure be glad to get out of here tonight.
You were mighty lucky, Tomkins.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was lucky. Maybe it wasn't.
Here it is, Tommy. Just came in on the transport.
Well, it's for Whitey.
For me?
Sure, open it up.
Oh, boy, a model plane! And an honest-to-goodness gas engine!
Like it?
I'll say. Boy, I bet the other kids will be jealous when they see this. Look at my plane fly. You see, fellas, what I've been trying to get through your thick skulls? You gotta get the center of gravity just right. Not too far forward and not too far back.
Whitey certainly has taken charge of those boys.
Oh, Whitey's all right. He'll settle down in a few days.
I hope so, for your sake. He was such a swell fellow before the accident.
Well, that's why we've got to be patient with him. He's been through enough to turn any kid's head. Pictures in the paper and reporters out here every day. That sort of thing has ruined many a grown man. Whitey's just a kid.
So that's the kid, brother, who's been acquiring all this fame.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you, see? That kid's chest's out of foot with all this hero bunk and his being in soft with Tomkins. Now all we gotta do is shuffle our cards right and we deal ourselves right in on that payroll dough.
Yes, and if my memory serves me correctly, you had another perfect plan for acquiring this money.
Yeah, I know. You leave the kid to me. I know how to work on him.
Okay, fellas, that'll be all for today.
Hello, kid.
Hi, Mike. Say, did you see the papers?
You bet I did. Pictures of you and everything. Say, I was so proud I nearly busted. How you been doing otherwise? Eating, sleeping okay?
Yeah, I'll say. I've been staying with Betty Lou. You know, Tailspin's girlfriend.
Well, smart kid. Come on, I want you to meet a friend of mine.
Oh, no, if it's a reporter, I don't want to see him. I'm sick of newshounds bothering me and asking me questions.
This is no reporter, this is a big shot. Come on. Mr. Dawson, this is my kid brother.
Oh, how do you do, young man? I've read a great deal about you.
Yes, I guess a lot of people heard about me.
Yes, indeed, young man. That was a most noteworthy accomplishment. Most noteworthy. And is this the sturdy plane with which you signaled for help?
Well, the other one didn't have a motor.
Oh, most interesting, young man. Tell me, can you learn very much about the art of flying from these little planes?
You bet. You see, me and Tailspin, we figure that the kids can learn a lot of groundwork. Then when they get old enough to go up, they'll know what it's all about.
Very good. Very good. I believe your brother's idea may prove quite profitable.
Yeah, I was telling him there's a fortune in making these things.
Quite right. Quite right. You see, I'm a manufacturer of toys, and your brother has been trying to persuade me to make quite a number of these planes. Thousands, in fact. Of course, I would call them the Whitey Lewis Scout ships, and we would pay you for the use of your name.
Yeah, but you couldn't sell them. Unless the kids that bought them had some kind of a secret club. You know, some sort of signal. If one of you got in a jam, you could use it, see? And the others would know that it was a pal in trouble.
You mean a secret code? Like the G-Men or the Army, huh?
Possibly, yes, but it would have to be absolutely secret to be used only in case of life or death.
Oh, that'll be easy, Mr. Dawson. Me and Tailspin will figure out something.
Tailspin?
Yeah, Tailspin Tommy, the pilot I rescued.
Listen, kid. I wouldn't say nothing to nobody about your deal with Mr. Dawson. Big businessmen don't like a lot of people in on what they're doing.
Oh, no, I won't say anything about it. I'll just tell Tailspin about the idea for the signal, see?
Okay, kid.
Just like a skyrider, huh, Tommy?
Seems to be working fine. It's a pretty good idea. How'd you come to think of it?
I was thinking how close Betty Lou and Skeeter nearly missed seeing my plane. You know, when you crashed. It sort of come to me.
Well, no pilot will ever miss a signal like that.
And the scout on the ground will give the 3-point call letters.
That's the idea. Then the pilot will know it's one of our boys.
Yeah.
Twin Rivers to 3-point. Twin Rivers to 3-point.
3-point to Twin Rivers. 3-point to Twin Rivers. Go ahead, Twin Rivers.
Flight 14 clearing Twin Rivers. Due 3.357. Advise Tomkins.
Okay, Twin Rivers. Brown's payroll's on Flight 14. I'm going to tell Tommy.
I'll put the smoke signal on the other fellow's planes and teach them the call signal.
All right. But remember to warn them it's only to be used for an emergency. A matter of life or death.
Sure. I'll put them on their honor.
Hey, Tommy. Oh, Whitey. Flight 14 just left Twin Rivers. You better get that flying tank ready.
Okay, I'm all set.
And you got to know which way you're flying today, boy. If you get lost with that payroll, they'll have the G-men on you.
So long, Whitey.
So long. Mind if I use the phone?
Of course not. Who is she? I'm jealous.
It's my brother Mike. He told me to call him up at Pete's place.
I didn't know he was back in town.
Yeah, he's been back a couple of days. Hello? Pete's pool is this Pete? Well, yeah, I'd like to speak to Mike. Yeah, Mike Lewis. But I bet you I could have a girl, see? I got a couple of letters from them pictures in the papers. Hi, Mike? Yeah. Tell the big shot I'm all set to talk business. Okay. I'll meet you there. So long.
My, that sounded important.
Oh, that's nothing. Just a little business deal I got on. So long.
Bye.
Very interesting young man. And of course you've worked out the emergency signals with the 3-point call letters.
That's right. But they're only to be used in case of life and death.
Quite right, quite right. A very wise provision, eh, Mike?
Yeah, I told you the kid was smart.
The more I see of this sturdy little plane, the more I'm convinced it'll bring us quite a sum of money.
Sure, it's in the bag.
That's swell, Mr. Dawson, and you think it'll make me rich, huh?
No doubt, no doubt. Rich and famous. Especially famous.
Say, this looks like a good spot to test the kid's crate.
Perfect, perfect. And that mountain meadow, that'll provide a nice landing field in case your plane encounters trouble.
Sure. That's big enough for a regular plane to make a forced landing.
This is it.
Well, here we are, young man, at the great crossroads of your life, perhaps.
Say, we better get going.
Quite right. Williams, I want you to take the car down there and wait for Whitey's plane to come to you. He says he'll drop it right in your lap. Is that right, my boy?
That's right.
Hold it, I'll go with you.
All right.
You better stall a few minutes. That transport should be landing at 3-point about now.
Nice autograph, Tomkins, for a lot of money.
Yeah, too much for my autograph.
luck.
Happy landing.
Good luck.
How far does a ship fly in a minute at 120 miles an hour?
I don't know. Let's see.
Skip it. I guess it's time. All right, give me the blood.
Okay, I got it right here.
Don't you think them fellas are ready by now?
Why, yes. I didn't realize it's been so long.
Hey, look! What's happened?
What happened here? What happened here?
The brakes didn't hold. We went off the road into the canyon. I think Mike's hurt bad.
Here. Help me put him in the shade of this tree.
We gotta get a doctor, Mr. Dawson.
Do you think he's gonna die?
I hope not. Here. Let me have a look at you.
Oh, don't worry about me. Get help for Mike.
I'll go.
But it's 30 miles, my boy. That means hours. And your brother may be dying.
But there's nothing else we can do. It's a plane. It's a plane, maybe from 3 Point.
Too bad he isn't low enough to see us. We could get your brother to town, perhaps in time.
Wait until he gets closer and maybe I can tell who it is. It's Tailspin. I'll get him down.
To recognize the signal.
I told you to lay that money right in our laps.
Tompkins to 3 Point. Tompkins to 3 Point.
3 Point to Tomkins. 3 Point to Tomkins. Go ahead, Tommy.
Over Long Meadow. Spotted plane with smoke attachment. There's a kid signaling for help. Looks like one of our gang's in trouble.
Well, Whitey's the only kid with a smoke gag.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to land and check up. Stand by, will you?
Okay, but set her down easy. You know that's not hay you're flying.
Whitey, what are you doing up here?
My brother, he's all busted up. Car crack up. It went off the road.
Well, are you all right?
Sure, yeah, I wasn't in it, but Mike.
Where is he?
Up on the road. He's hurt bad, Tommy. Come on, we gotta get him to a doctor.
Wait till I check with Skeeter. Tompkins to 3 Point. Tompkins to 3 Point.
Okay, Tommy, go ahead.
Hello, Skeeter. Landed okay. There seems to be a... What is this, a holdup?
Tommy! Tommy! Tommy's been held up. Call the sheriff. Get busy on that phone. I'll get a ship ready.
Well, Skeeter.
Yeah.
Skeeter, that miniature plane.
Well?
Tommy said it had a smoke attachment.
Yeah?
Well, it was Whitey's.
Well, sure. Quit stalling and get the sheriff on the phone.
Listen, Skeeter. Whitey called his brother about 4 hours ago right from this phone.
Well, all right, so what?
Well, I'm trying to tell you. He said, tell the big shot I'm all set to talk business.
What? Tell that to the sheriff.
Take it easy and you won't get hurt.
Easy. Don't be a sap. You'd be a lot less trouble to us cold.
You lied to me. You framed me. And I'm your brother.
Lay off. Get wise to yourself.
Yes, kid, you've done a fine job. You'd better forget the act.
But I didn't have anything to do with this. You gotta believe me, Tommy. You gotta.
Pipe down, kid. You're it, and Squawkin' ain't changing it. I'll handle him. Come here. Oh, so you'd plug me, huh?
Yeah. I don't care if you are my brother.
And that's the best description I can give you of the Lewis brothers.
All right. That's all we need. I want all the roads leading out of Lone Meadow blocked.
Yeah, but if they can force Tommy to fly him, they'll try to get out of there. I got a ship all ready to take off.
That's good. Jim, you fly with Skeeter. Keep in touch with me with your radio.
Right.
You better contact all airports and all planes that you can reach in the air. Give them the description of Tompkins' plane.
3 Point to Twin Rivers.
You dumb fool. Why'd you hit him so hard? We could have been miles away from here and flying fast. Okay, forget it. We can't stall around here all day. Now we'll have to use the car.
What'll we do with him?
Bring him along and we'll dump him somewhere tonight. If we leave him here, he'll give our descriptions to the first sheriff's posse that gets here. And get rid of the plane. You probably smeared your fingerprints all over it. Hurry up.
Car 65, car 65, Cover Hill Junction on Road 105. Car 70, go to Andrews Cutoff.
That is description of Lewis brothers, but another man, possibly two, believed implicated in robbery. No description of them is available as yet.
That's the last open road out of here.
We'll have to pick a spot and crash through.
That's just what those cops have been waiting for.
Well, where to?
Back to the cabin. By the time they search these hills, we'll have found a way to slip through.
Calling 3 Point. Just spotted Tommy's plane in Lone Meadow. It's burned. I'm landing to investigate.
Oh, here now. Keep your chin up. Those crooks wouldn't go that far. We'll find Tommy. But I wish the officers had a description of the men with Mike and Whitey. It would certainly help.
Skeeter.
Yeah, hello. Oh, it's you. What time is it?
It's almost 6 o'clock. Any news?
No, not a word all night.
The sheriff thinks the gang must have slipped through the net last night.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, I'm going up again. I can see now.
Oh, Skeeter, you're all in. Well, you were flying most of the day yesterday, and you've been awake all night.
I'm all right.
But if they did slip through the blockade...
Well, don't worry. They didn't take Tommy with them.
Oh, you don't think they...
Listen, Tommy's the only one who can put a finger on those crooks, and until we get them or find Tommy, anything can happen.
Well, by tonight, those coppers ought to be sick enough of their jobs to ease off, and we can slip through.
How about that eagle and the kid? Are they going with us?
No, we leave them down in the cellar.
Yeah, they'll sing to the first copper that...
They won't sing, not after we leave them.
fly?
I don't know, kid. Pretty badly busted up and we haven't got much to work with here.
It's 'cause you know a lot about fixing them things.
Yeah. When I started fooling around with the kids at the field, I didn't think one of these little ships might be getting us out of a tough spot.
Well, it got you into it. That and my dumb swell-headed...
Oh, forget it, Whitey. We all make mistakes.
Then you do believe me, don't you? You know I wasn't trying to help them to frame you.
Sure. How many times have I got to tell you?
Well, somehow I just can't believe you think so. Not on the level, Tommy. Things look too bad again me and...
Oh, forget it. I tell you, I do believe you.
That's great. Now I don't care what them thugs do to me.
They're not going to do anything to either one of us if we can get this wing to hold together in the air for a couple of minutes.
It's kind of wobbly.
Yeah. But it'll hold, kid. Don't you worry for 1 minute. Now all we gotta do is to figure some way to get this thing in the air when we hear one of those patrol planes overhead.
But how are we gonna do it?
I don't know yet, but I've got an idea.
It's a plane.
All right, Whitey. Hand me your ship.
Wait a minute, Tommy. I'll fix it.
All set, Whitey?
Sure.
All right, then I'll make enough noise so they won't hear the motor start.
Cut that out down there.
Climbing. Look, Tailspin. My busted wing's holding fine.
Yeah. Now if the pilot only sees it, everything will be okay.
It's going further away.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he didn't see it.
Calling 3-point. Calling 3-point. Calling sheriff's office. Calling sheriff's office. Just spotted kid's plane with smoke attachment. Must be Whitey Lewis's. It looks like signal for help. It landed on east side of Pine Mountain. I'll circle spot to guide sheriff's cars.
Good work, Skeeter.
Be careful.
Car 44, car 44, move to Pine Mountain. Search for Child's model airplane. Ship circling over exact location.
There it is. Hold it. There's a message on it.
Payroll bandits are in cabin. Hey, this is a description of the whole gang and their car. Better radio that in right now, Steve.
Car 44 to headquarters. Car 44 to headquarters.
All cars converge on cabin near Crest Road, 1 mile beyond Pine Flats.
Well, kid, there's one more thing we might try.
I'm game for anything.
I know you are, Whitey. And I don't think they'd hurt you. Or I wouldn't take the chance.
Oh, don't worry about me. But what about you?
That's a chance we gotta take. We gotta get one of them down here. Hand me that club.
Didn't I tell you to cut that out?
Ask for some water.
Give us some water!
Pipe down.
Williams, take that kid some water. And Dawson, remember, no matter what happens, that kid goes with us.
All right, Mike. I guess it would be better if we took him along.
Yeah, much better.
Remember now, the minute he gets down here, you duck up the stairs.
Off of that kid?
What's up? Never mind what's up. That plane is circling closer. We're getting out of here. Get the car out. I'll get the money.
Whitey, kid, are you hurt much?
No, I guess I'm kind of tough, Tommy.
Say, you look like a million.
It's Mr. Brown's reward for what Whitey did to help catch those crooks and save all that money.
Isn't it swell?
You bet. But it's no more than you deserve.
You know, I understand the head of Whitey's school is going to organize a branch unit here, Scott.
He says it'll spread to lots of other kids' schools all over the country, and they're going to make you national commander.
Ooh, General Tailspin Tommy Thompkins. You'll be famous.
Hey, cut the kidding.
Say, now, after all, wait a minute. I did help catch those crooks, you know. What do I get out of it?
Here's your reward, Skeeter.
Hey, wait a minute, Skeeter.
Hey, come on, you kids. Time to get Flight 14 out of here.
Okay.
Come on.
Over land or sea or snow, Hear the fighters are dead in the light. We give her the gun and go. On silver wings we take the air. Though we never like to boast, on we dash from coast to coast. On silver wings without a care. We are way across the sky, ready to dare and do or die. Hail the flying men on silver wings. Sing it out with a voice that rings. If there's trouble anywhere, we'll be there on silver wings.
I just can't do it, Dad. Something must be wrong with me. I've tried everything. I love to fly, but it's those guns. I'm telling you, they've got me. The thought of shooting another man down, Dad. Look, please, will you please let me go back to medical school? I don't want to kill people. I want to help them.
I don't think anybody wants to kill people. Certainly I don't. But humanity, there are bound to be lawbreakers, and somebody's got to stop them.
Well, you must be right, Dad. I know everybody else feels the same way you do. All I mean is that I'm just not the man for it. If I keep on like this, I'll disgrace the both of us.
All right, son. We'll get you out of it as soon as we can, gracefully. I wanted you near me. I thought everything else would work out. I see it hasn't. Maybe it's my fault. Perhaps I failed you somehow.
Oh, no, Dad. It's not your fault. It's all mine. You deserve a better son than I'll ever be. A fella like Tommy.
I'd be proud to call Tomkins my son, but not nearly so proud as I will be of you when you overcome this phobia. And you will, Carter. You've got to before it destroys you. It's bigger than guns or killing. You're running away from something that'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, this final event in the graduation exercises is a gunnery test, diving and firing at stationary ground targets. Each candidate is accompanied by an instructor in a dual-controlled plane. The planes are equipped with regulation machine guns and are fired from an automatic trigger release on the control stick of the plane. The danger in this test is that some of the candidates might become so intent on the firing of the guns that they forget to pull out of the dive. The first three candidates are approaching the field from your left. Final test and is given the okay by the instructor, becomes a pilot in the newly organized Sky Patrol.
Colonel. Yes, I'm very proud, Paul. And you should be, too. Tomkins has done an excellent job with these young men.
The next three candidates to take the test are John McGee, Paul Palmer, and Carter Meade, with Lieutenant Tommy Thompkins as instructor observer.
All set, Carter? Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
Good luck, Carter.
Thanks a lot.
Attaboy, take good going.
Okay, boys.
Incidentally, Carter Meade is the son of Colonel John Meade, commanding officer of the Sky Patrol.
Remember now, don't dive too steep on the target. Level off and pour it in. But don't get so intent on your guns you forget to pull out. Got it? Yeah, I got it, sir.
Okay, she's all yours.
Okay, let's go.
Skeeter, you were wonderful.
Oh, thanks. Well, Skeeter, your part of the festivities over?
Oh, no, he's going to make a speech tonight.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Listen, how's this? My friend...
That's all right, Skeeter. We know what you're going to say.
There goes Tommy.
Neat jobs. Very. Faster than the amphibian. And the boys are good with those pea shooters, too. You think we ought to... I don't think anything now. And remember, there never was a setup that couldn't be beaten if the right man tried it. And you're the right man to beat this? Well, I'll do till the right man comes along.
Here they come.
Cutting it a little too fine.
Yeah, he sure laid him in there, didn't he? Hey, look at him now. That boy fly.
That concludes the graduation tests for this afternoon.
Come on.
Thanks, Lieutenant. I didn't mean to...
Now, here comes your father.
Congratulations, son. And thanks, Tomkins.
Yes, sir.
You may be a graduate of Randolph Field, and you may be a lieutenant in the Air Corps Reserve, but remember, you're still a transport pilot. And you're not the kind of a screwball who'd go stunting over a crowd just for a thrill. Now, don't try to tell me that it was Colonel Meade doing the stunting, because if it had been, you'd have taken the control away from him like that. And furthermore, I'd recognize that barrel roll of yours if there were 1,000 planes up there.
All right, Paul, I did it. I did it because I felt good. I did it because I'm through with these wild Indians I've been riding herd on for months. I did it because...
Yeah, I know. You did it because...
Because Colonel Meade was my instructor at Randolph Field. And if it hadn't been for dual controls, I'd been a cook goose several times.
And if there's anything I can do for Colonel
All
Meade,
right, now, just forget that I brought it up. But remember, you can always come back to your regular job. And, you know, we have no colonel's son on a transport line.
Come on, get out of here.
Gentlemen, I read to you from a confidential communication received from Washington. It is believed that the territory to be covered by your Sky Patrol is the theater of large smuggling operations in arms and munitions, contrary to the letter and spirit of the government's neutrality laws. You are hereby ordered to end such operations and apprehend the persons responsible. You gentlemen will investigate any trucks or pack trains operating near the line, or any planes that cannot easily be identified or cannot satisfactorily account for their presence. All right, Lieutenant.
The district has been divided into zones, and each pilot is assigned to a zone and will leave it only on orders from this office. Constant radio communication will be maintained both with this office and between planes. Your attention to the following assignments. Ryan, zone number 1. McGee, zone number 2. Palmer, number 3. Doherty, number 4. Cook, 5. Baker, 6. And Fisk, 7.
Well, what about me, sir?
You stand by to accompany me on special patrol. Is that all, sir?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Outside, everybody.
Good luck, gentlemen. Oh, Tomkins.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute.
Take over, Skeeter.
Right. Come on. Lieutenant, what do you think of my son?
Why, sir, he's,
Will he, I know what he is. Will he make a patrolman?
Yes, sir, and a very good one.
You wouldn't show him any special consideration just because he is my son?
No, sir. I wouldn't do anything for him I wouldn't do for any of the others.
Don't, Lieutenant. Ever. Understand?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
And I gotta sit with that radio all day. But do I complain?
I'll bite, do you?
That's what I say. Do I What? Oh.
Well, do you?
Well, I guess I don't do any more crabbing or... No, sir, not to speak of, sir.
Then suppose you run back in and get to work.
Yes, sir.
He's not much of a soldier, except in his heart. And that's where it counts.
Lieutenant, I wanted to tell you about yesterday.
Forget it.
Well, no, you see, it's not that easy. I wanted to...
We couldn't let you crack up a plane, could we? Come on, let's go.
Check. Number 7, continue patrol. Number 7, continue patrol. Number 7, continue patrol. That is all.
How goes the war?
Oh, say, we're off to a flying start. Those fellas have reported everything from the International Bridge to a loose burro. McGee just got all excited about something that turned out to be a busload of school kids on a picnic.
Well, you would join the Army.
And you know, I kind of like it. I was too young for the last war, but I read everything I could get on flyers and planes and dogfights and bombs. Of course, I realize this isn't going to be anything like that, but we might get a little action.
Well, you'll get it. Over the radio.
That's very funny.
Oh, never mind, Skeeter. I'm sure this is important or Tommy would have never put you here. After all, you are assistant chief instructor.
Oh, of
course, Skeeter. I was only kidding. You and Tommy are doing a fine job. Stick to it. Betty Lou and I will run the airline till you get back.
Tompkins to headquarters.
Tompkins to headquarters. Tompkins to headquarters. Go ahead. Headquarters to Tompkins. Headquarters to Tompkins. Go ahead. Just completed tour of entire patrol district. Everything under control.
Every plane's running right along. Few scattered clouds. Visibility unlimited.
Looks like the Sky Patrol is now functioning. Hey, wait a minute. Something's wrong. Your transmitter keeps cutting on and off. Probably just a little static. There's a lot of it on these hot days.
Here's the bell up here.
Well, it's better here now. All planes checked in on time. All pilots answered calls. Good. Let me know if anything turns up. That is all.
Well, I guess I'll have to get some flowers.
Flowers? Flowers?
Well, sure, for the party.
What party?
Tonight.
Say, what is this?
Didn't you hear what Tommy said? I'm to have you two at his quarters for dinner tonight. Bye.
Paul, I want to know the truth about this message that Betty Lou's talking about.
Well, you see, the button on a microphone makes a perfect telegraph key.
So Tommy sent a message to me, dot dash, while he talked a routine report.
That's what you thought was static.
I still think so. They made this date yesterday. They're kidding us.
All right, you win.
We used it all the time over 3-point radio.
How did you know Betty Lou was going to be at the Air Patrol radio?
Well, there you have me.
Well, where else would she be? Wasn't Tommy out in an air patrol plane?
Oh, ain't love grand.
Oh, lay off, will you?
You got Tommy doing a spin. By the way, young man, how about that speech of yours?
Yeah, the one you had prepared for the graduation dinner.
Well, what happened? Didn't he deliver it?
No. By the time the colonel and all the pilots got through, the program was over.
Oh, well, they can't do that to our Skeeter. Let's have it now.
No.
Well, sure.
Come on. Oh, you're kidding.
Come on.
You mean me to give it to you? My friend, unaccustomed to public speaking. Headquarters to Meade. Headquarters to Meade. Go ahead. Reporting zone number 1. Flight under control. Meade working regular patrol flight following coastline.
Weather clear. Scattered clouds at 5,000 feet. Visibility unlimited. That is all.
Yesterday's flight report, sir.
Thanks, Tex.
That was Sonny Boy checking in. Everything seems to be under control.
He'll be all right. Good man.
Yeah, I guess so. He's a quiet sort of a kid. You know, I think he's got something on his mind.
He has. His job.
What did I do?
Morning, Lieutenant.
Good morning, sir.
I've been looking over your report of the first week's patrol. We seem to have covered the sector efficiently, but we haven't confiscated any contraband or caught any smugglers.
No, sir. I doubt if there's any activity on the part of the smugglers. They naturally wanted to look us over.
You think then this week's patrol might bring results? Is that it?
Yes, sir. That is, if there really are any large-scale smugglers.
Well, Washington seems to think so. They're howling for action.
We've got company. Yeah, you can't tell what you run into these days. Hey, that's a Sky Patrol. Meade to headquarters. Meade to headquarters.
Meade to headquarters.
Headquarters to Meade. Headquarters to Meade. Headquarters to Meade. Go ahead. I've sighted an amphibian, number 3XM827. Standing by for check on that registration number. 3XM827. 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 Just a minute. X.
Check that registration number.
Yes, sir.
Stand by, Meade.
Checking on our number.
Remember to change that. We should have stuck to night flights.
Can't find a thing, sir.
Headquarters to Meade. Headquarters to Meade. Headquarters to Meade.
Meade to headquarters.
Nothing registered under number 3XM827. Nothing registered. Nothing registered. Call and fiddle. Call 3XM827 for identification. That is all.
Calling amphibian 3XM827. Come in and identify yourself, 3XM827.
He's asking for our identification.
Tell him he's got our number.
You've got our number. What more do you want?
We don't have your number listed on our file. Unless you can prove satisfactorily that everything is all right, we'll have to ground you.
Attaboy, Carter.
All right, Mitch. Go ahead, Carter.
The amphibian is turned and is flying out over the Gulf.
Tompkins speaking. Force him back to land and ground him. Use your guns if necessary. Call McGee, zone number 2. Palmer number 3 to support Carter. Other pilots to cover holes. Tex, come with me.
Headquarters to Pilot McGee. Headquarters calling Pilot McGee. Headquarters to McGee.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's the Colonel's son. We can use him. Follow him down. Wreckage found this afternoon by the fishing boat Stella M was definitely identified as part of the plane flown by Colonel Meade of the Sky Patrol. Pilot Meade met death in an encounter with a mysterious amphibian, number 3XM827. If you have seen or know anything about a plane of that number, please communicate with Colonel Meade at Sky Patrol headquarters. Remember, amphibian number 3XM827.
Air Patrol headquarters. Yes? Where? What is your address, please? Thank you.
Air Patrol headquarters. Air Patrol headquarters. Yeah. Brownsville? Yes? Thanks for calling, but if it had two wings, it's not the Amphibious. It's not the That's not it. Let it go. Air Patrol headquarters. Where? Cleburne. Yeah, how is it marked? Thanks for calling, but that's the mail plane. Sorry. Air Patrol headquarters.
The whole thing is my fault, sir. I should never have passed Carter, but he tried so hard. I didn't think he'd ever have to use his guns, except as a threat.
No, Lieutenant. You mustn't blame yourself. I saw what happened in the final test. You must remember that I could have washed him out at any time. But, as you say, he tried so hard. He was a brave lad, Lieutenant, in a greater way than mere physical bravery. He went down fighting a subconscious impulse that was too much for him. Hating his job, but doing his best to please me. No, if there's any blame, it's mine for making his sacrifice necessary. And in the meantime, the organization for which appears to have failed in its purpose.
Well, I wouldn't say that, sir. I'll admit the morale is low, but these pilots are untried. They're fighting something mysterious. We'll find some trace of that amphibian.
Yes, but none of the calls or letters mean anything.
I know it, sir. People have seen it from Albany to Yuma. We've traced down mail planes, transport planes, gliders, models, everything in the world but that amphibian.
Come in.
I just received this message from a boy in Terminal City with the name of Bobby Landis. Said he saw a plane of that number and the type we're looking for.
A boy?
12 years old.
Most 12-year-old boys these days know what they're talking about when it comes to airplanes.
That's the best lead we've had yet, sir. May I take Skeeter to help me investigate it?
Lieutenant, you can have any part of this organization that will help you discover what happened to my son.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant.
Hello, Mr. Brennan. Where can I hire a car around here?
Well, you're welcome to use mine if you care to.
Well, thanks. I want to locate a boy named Bobby Landis.
Well, that won't be much of a job. He doesn't live far from here.
Fine.
This ought to be the place.
And that ought to be Bobby Landis. Having trouble, young man?
Yeah, I can't figure how that aileron works.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Hey, you Bobby Landis?
Yeah, sure.
We're from the Air Patrol.
I'm Tommy Tompkins. This is Sergeant Milligan.
Tailspin Tommy.
Yeah, I'm Skeeter.
Gosh.
Hey, did you phone headquarters yesterday about an amphibian?
Amphibian.
That's what I said.
Yes, I did.
Are you sure it was an amphibian?
Yes, I know an amphibian when I see one.
All right. What's that flying around up there now?
Look, that's a walk away.
You're right. This is pretty important to us, Bobby. We've got to be sure we have the right plane.
Gosh, I'm sure it was an amphibian. You see, me and another fellow's been keeping log on the planes that fly over. You know, numbers and all.
Yeah, like we do at headquarters.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's been one plane flying over at night, going this way early and coming back along toward morning.
Well, that doesn't mean it's an amphibian. That doesn't mean anything.
Of course not. But you know what I mean, Tailspin.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, me and Jimmy Drake had logged the number of every other plane except that one, on account of it's always flying at night, like I said.
So we're trying to see who gets the number first.
And you got it.
Well, I gave it to you over the phone.
Sure, Skeeter. How'd you get it?
Well, one morning early, I heard the plane coming. I looked out the window, and it was thick fog. You know, pretty soupy.
That's what made him late, huh?
Uh-huh, and that's what made him fly low, so I got the number. 3XM827.
Well, that's it, all right.
Thanks, Bobby.
You gonna ground it?
After we find it.
That ought to be easy. Lane's over there someplace.
Did you ever try to find it?
No, but there's a big warehouse over there.
Do you think you could show it to us?
Gosh, yeah. Come on. Hey, Ma, take care of my plane, will ya? Come on. That's the warehouse. They could use it for a hangar.
You say they fly over your house every night.
Yes, and come back early in the morning.
Bobby, if this turns out like I hope, you've got a free ride coming to you.
In a Sky Patrol plane? Guns and all?
Guns and all.
Gee!
Let's go.
Go? Well, let's crash the joint.
Keep your shirt on, Skeeter.
Well, where are we gonna go?
Back to headquarters. Here's the warehouse. And here's where Carter reported the amphibian. This line represents the line of flight.
Headed out over the Gulf, there are any number of places it could go.
Well, are you sure the warehouse is the land base?
Well, of course it is. We should have crashed the joint.
Colonel Meade speaking. Hello? Oh, hello. Yes? Yes? Oh, thanks, Sheriff. That warehouse belongs to Martin Bainbridge, a licensed munitions broker.
So you see, young man, you'd look rather foolish crashing in there.
Well, suppose we'd have found the amphibian.
Amphibian?
Yeah.
Well, it's no crime to own an amphibian.
Quite right, Lieutenant. There's no crime committed unless the munitions are transported outside of the United States.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing.
And that's what we've got to prove. Let us confine ourselves to the problem. This boy says that I make a trip each night.
We can't be sure they'll make a trip tonight, sir, but they've been fairly regular.
We could follow them.
How? Hitchhike?
They're probably working with some boat outside the 12-mile limit.
But if they carry an extra load of gas, they can make it way across the Gulf.
Yeah. If we only had some means of recording the length of the flight.
How about our impulse meter, Paul?
What's that, Lieutenant?
It's an instrument we've been working on to locate lost planes in bad weather.
It records the intensity of the magneto impulse.
Does it work?
Well, here's a good chance to find out.
But we have to have the cooperation of the telephone company.
Well, I say let's try it.
I still think we ought to crash the joint.
If this thing works all right, you'll get all the crashing you want.
Is that a promise?
Tommy, you can explain to the Colonel how the machine operates better than I can.
Well, Colonel, the antenna is adjusted along the estimated line of flight of the amphibian and is especially sensitive to the magneto impulses, as are evidenced by a spark in this tube. As the amphibian approaches, the spark becomes more intense, and by the same token, as it goes away from us, becomes less intense. Knowing the approximate speed of the amphibian, we estimate the distance traveled by the length of time the spark is registered in the tube.
Tommy, you mean that when the plane starts, the light lights, and when the plane comes closer, the light gets bigger and stronger?
That's right.
And what happens when the plane goes away from us?
The spark diminishes.
How soon can we pick the amphibian up?
As soon as the engines start.
How far can we carry it?
We should be able to follow it well out over the Gulf.
Texas at the warehouse, Colonel. He's going to telephone us as soon as the
amphibian. As soon as it starts. Then we'll tune in the machine.
And hope it works.
Well, we'll soon know. It's almost midnight.
There they go. Let it down.
Lieutenant Tomkins, please.
Yes, Tex. Thanks. They just left. 12, 1, and 35 seconds. I'll turn the machine on. We got it. As long as the amphibian is in flight, there'll be a light in this tube. When the amphibian stops, it stops.
Or else passes beyond the range of the instrument.
Well, that's possible, of course. It's getting stronger. Now it's at its peak. The plane should be practically overhead. Did you get the starting time, Betty Lou, to the second?
Yes.
It's now just 12:15. I'll shut the machine off for a moment. We should be able to hear the motors. I'd say it's just about 10,000.
Well, Lieutenant, we know how far we are from the warehouse and how long it has taken the amphibian to get here. Now, if we could only tell when it lands, we'll know approximately where it lands.
That's right.
Stopped.
And well within our radius. 12:25 and 3 seconds.
Well, it looks like it's up to you.
Yes, sir. I'll check the figures on the map and we'll be off the first thing in the morning.
Good. Want any help?
Just Skeeter. Unless he still wants to crash the joint. Well, there we are. 20 miles out to sea.
Then it's got to be a ship. There's no land for 200 miles in that direction.
That's right.
Well, that settles it, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Well, what do you mean you guess so? What gotta do is take a squadron and fly out there and blow it.
I know all that. But I'm wondering about Carter Meade.
Carter Meade, White?
Yes. Carter Meade.
You mean that...
What you ask may cost me 2 valuable men. When with a couple of Sky Patrol planes, I could go out there and bring down their amphibian or blow their boat out of the water, right now.
That's what I'm afraid of, sir.
It doesn't sound like you, Tomkins. What's all this about, Sergeant?
Well, yes.
Answer me.
Well, Tommy just has an idea that...
All right, Lieutenant, out with it.
I didn't want to say anything about it, sir. It's just a wild idea of mine. If I'm wrong, it may be the cruelest thing I've ever done in my life. Anything official.
All we want to do, sir, is go out there, just the two of us, and make certain.
We have an old plane that we can use, and they'll never know we're air patrolmen. How about a leave, sir? Just 24 hours.
You're determined, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. Take your leave. But remember, I absolutely forbid you to do anything foolish. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Let's get out of here before we have to go through that again with Betty Lou and Paul.
Right.
Listen, Jackson, I don't care if they do have patrolmen watching the place. You've got to get that amphibian loaded and get it out of there.
Is a plane coming?
Sky Patrol?
I don't think so. It ain't marked like one.
Tune in Sky Patrol and see what they're doing.
What do you make of it?
Hard to tell.
Get out of your parachute! What are you gonna do? We're gonna crash the joint!
Well, they must be crazy.
Overdoing nothing, I can't swim.
Did I put a boat over?
No, let's see what happens.
Well, looks like we'll have to save ourselves.
Yes, sir. We certainly got them right where they want us.
Hang on to my shoulder and kick your feet. Let's go.
Ever see him before?
Been having trouble?
Yeah, she conked down on me.
Well, that's too bad. Come with me and I'll show you where you can change your clothes.
Thanks.
We're a little short-handed right now, but you'll find some old clothes in here. Step in, gentlemen.
Well, boy, we sure crashed the joint.
Carter! Carter! It's Tommy! Well, I thought we'd find him here. But not like this.
Boy, is he messed up.
And that's not from a crack-up either.
They've been working on him with a belaying pin.
Carter! Wake up!
Well, what did you find out?
Only that they're on 24 hours leave.
Oh, now, Paul, you know Tommy wouldn't rush off like that if he were just on leave.
Well, I'm going to stay right here until I find out what he's up to. No word from Tomkins yet, huh?
No, sir.
Well, I can't understand it. But don't you worry, Betty Lou. He'll take care of himself.
How do you know so much about what's going on?
Well, naturally, I'm interested in what the Sky Patrol does. That's how I knew you. I saw the graduation exercises.
So I walked right in, eh?
Yes, fortunately. You see, we're tuned into your broadcasts. That's how we knew the warehouse was being watched.
And you want me to tell Colonel Meade to withdraw his men?
That's it. So the amphibian can make one more trip. After that, you can raid the warehouse, take all the bows, and everybody will be happy.
Except you'll be gone.
That's right.
That's why you kept and worked over young Meade, eh? You expected him to make his father withdraw.
No, Mitch here had to get a little bit rough with him. He was a bit of a disappointment.
What makes you think I won't be?
Doesn't it seem sort of overdoing the heroics? Sacrificing 3 lives for such a little thing?
Now, this radio is equipped exactly the same as the Sky Patrol. You can talk to the Colonel right from here. I'm tuned in on him now.
All right. You win. What do you want me to say?
All ready, sir. The sheriff's detail has arrived.
Good, Ryan. Proceed as per orders.
I have a message from Lieutenant Tomkins, sir.
Tomkins? Steady, Sergeant. Colonel Meade speaking. Go ahead.
Tomkins, Colonel. Have you raided the warehouse yet?
Not yet, Lieutenant.
Then listen carefully, sir. We've made a mistake.
Tommy's code.
That's a code message. Check it.
I can't understand you. Speak louder.
We've made a mistake. Something's wrong with my calculations. I can't locate the boat.
I don't understand, Lieutenant.
I'm on my way to join you now, sir, and will explain everything. In the meantime, I strongly urge you to hold back the attack on the warehouse. That is all.
Shall I proceed, sir?
No. Hold your men.
Call Colonel Meade. Hurry.
Calling Colonel Meade. Calling Colonel Meade. Calling Colonel Meade.
Another message, sir.
Colonel Meade speaking.
Just a minute, sir.
Colonel Meade, this is Betty Lou. That message of Tommy's was a blind.
Well, I recognize his voice.
I know, but he was signaling while he was talking.
They do it all the time, sir.
The real message reads, proceed with the raid. Have located Carter. He, Skeeter, and I are prisoners on the schooner Chicane. Hurry.
He said Carter was on the boat? Safe?
Okay, go on.
Well, after they got me out of the water, they ganged up on me and tried to get me to send the message, and I wouldn't do it, so they started knocking me around, and here I am.
Boy, they did a beautiful job on you.
Yeah, and that's nothing to what they'll do to Tommy. I'm telling you, these fellas mean business.
Hey, don't you worry about Tommy. They start pushing him around, he'll give them the fight of their lives. Well, that fella's a battler from way back. You know, I remember one time when there...
Thanks. You saved everybody a lot.
It takes a wise man to know when he's licked.
You talked to my father. You sent a message. You must have. So you couldn't take it, eh? Lieutenant Tomkins, the great Tailspin Tommy, the man my own father wanted me to be like. He isn't afraid of a little gun, is he? No, but he's afraid of getting pushed around. What a fool I was worrying about whether you were going to get beat up or not. And here you come back and you haven't even got a mark on you. Well, you're going to have.
I wish he'd have hit you.
Boss, that message Tompkins gave the colonel was a phony. We heard them talking after he got through. They're going to raid the warehouse.
So you pulled a fast one, eh, Tompkins? Raid the warehouse, but don't damage the amphibian. We've got to use it.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Prepare to take off. We head for sea. The sheriff's men will look after the rest.
Yes, sir.
Jackson calling Chicane. Jackson calling Chicane. Jackson calling Chicane.
Chicane speaking. Chicane speaking. Chicane speaking. Go ahead, Jackson.
The cops have got the amphibian. They're headed out for you. I know just how to handle this.
The Sky Patrol's headed this way in our amphibian.
Nice going, Tommy.
Yeah, nice going, Tomkins. But your friends don't know that we know that they're headed this way. You're going to have the pleasure of watching me take care of them with a 1-pounder when they land.
Get the men on deck.
I'm sorry for what I said, Lieutenant. I should have known better.
Oh, that's all right, kid. I wasn't sure it'd work myself.
Come on, boys. Uncover the gun and check it.
I'd like to take one punch at that guy, Tompkins.
Forget about him till after we look after the amphibian. Then you can have the three of them.
That must be the chicane. Circle while we look her over.
Yes, sir.
Drop that gun. Stand around it so it won't be seen.
Listen.
They'll be cold meat. They don't even know these fellas are expecting them.
Well, the boss said to stay away from you guys, but I just came down to see that you don't run away. All right, both of you, get over there. All right, kid, get up out of there. You're not hurt that bad. Come on, get up out of there. You know what's waiting for you. Get up.
Hey! Nice going, Carter. Now let's even this thing up.
Where's Mitch? Mitch! Go see what that was.
Here, watch the stairs. Let's find out what's in these things.
Grenades.
Boy, look at all that powder. Just what the doctor ordered.
Man, oh man, there's enough explosive here to blow this ship right out of the ocean.
That's just what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's just insane. Hey, wait a minute.
Come on, open those keys.
Listen, Tommy.
All right, you get that thing open.
Yeah, I know, but
We haven't got time to argue.
All right, settle down.
Yes, sir.
Men, stay hidden till I give the word. Then I want a gun out of every window.
Take care of Pat.
miss, but try.
Good. When I give the word, be ready to fire. Get ready.
Jump overboard.
Why, I can't swim.
Over and pick them up.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to try to put into words our appreciation of what you've done for us.
You know the way I feel, Tommy.
I only wish you were staying with the Sky Patrol, but I realize that Mr. Smith and 3 Point need you.
Well, we're leaving things in mighty capable hands. Good luck, Carter.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Tomkins. And you, Skeeter.
The pleasure's mine, Colonel. I learned him.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, back on the job?
Yep. When do we start?
Regular trip in the morning.
You know, Paul, I've been thinking about youngsters like Bobby Landis. There ought to be a lot of boys like that all over the country that are crazy about aviation.
You bet. The whole future of aviation rests in the hands of those youngsters.
Well, why can't we do something to encourage them?
Well, it's a good idea, but how?
Well, we might have a correspondence school.
No, nothing like that. Just let them hang around the airport and see what goes on.
And we could all give lectures on different phases of commercial flying.
Yeah, then I could make my speeches.
No, seriously. They have Boy Scouts. Why can't they have Scouts of the Air? Don't you think it's a good idea?
Well, I certainly do. How about you two?
Well, I'm for it.
Me too.
Well,
Calling all theaters. Calling all theaters.
Back already. This is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. And join me on YouTube under Don's Breakfast Cereal Show if you can. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks again. Stay safe. See you next week.